Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and an off-duty Chicago police officer was gunned down and killed in his car last night, or in the early morning hours of Saturday today at 3:30 a.m. on in the city's far south side. He and another off-duty officer had finished their shift, and I believe went out to a club that I don't think is identified in any of the reports, and then were sitting in the car after that. But I believe there was a total of 4 people sitting in the car. 2 of them, the off-duty police officers, and then another male and a female. It's not entirely clear to me. I think the other male was shot, in addition to the off-duty police officer who was shot and killed. And he was shot 3 times, I believe, once in the mouth, once in the chest, and once in the arm. Two men approached the vehicle, seemingly completely unprovoked. There's no reports of any incident leading up to this, and one of them pulled a gun and immediately started firing into the car, shooting and killing the officer, who died at the hospital, succumbing to his injuries. I'm not exactly sure on the time of that. And then immediately ran off. There are persons of interest. They have one person in custody that they're questioning, but I believe that that's not the person identified as the shooter, and they're still trying to identify and locate the shooter. I mean, I'm sort of paraphrasing, but I think, and there's based on where they were parked, there's tons of surveillance footage and cameras throughout Chicago, and then where they were. So it's only a matter of time as they comb through that footage that they identify the shooter. And that was stated at the press conference. But the off-duty Chicago police officer John P. Rivera was killed, pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital about 3:50 a.m. according to police. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said an autopsy was scheduled for tomorrow. So, like I said, a shooting on the near north side has left an off-duty police officer dead and another man critically wounded early Saturday. Both 23, were sitting in a parked car at the 700 block of North Clark Street in River North neighborhood at about 3:30 a.m. when 2 assailants walked up and one pulled a gun and began firing into the vehicle. Another male, himself an off-duty police officer, and a female civilian were also in the car, but they were not injured, the police said. So I don't know where that other male was sitting. If he was sitting directly behind the driver's side of the officer who was shot and killed, that'd be my assumption, but I don't know that for a fact. He could have been in the passenger side. So the attackers, which police only described as black males, ran away on foot. During a press conference outside the hospital, Police Deputy Superintendent Anthony Riccio said they were unaware of any incidents or confrontations which could have sparked the shootings. Rivera and the attacker had no problems, no words were exchanged, no robbery demand, no carjacking demand. It's a very fresh investigation. Shattered glass and multiple yellow evidence markers could be seen around shell casings on the ground near the car. Police remained on the scene, which had been cordoned off with crime scene tape. Rivera had just finished his shift about 9 or 10 p.m. and had worked on a murder investigation earlier in the night. He was on patrol. He was a patrol officer assigned to a beat car in the Gresham district in the city's south side, and had handled the paperwork on the homicide. After work, he headed to a nightclub in the area shooting. Police had not yet identified which club. Said that the chief Chicago police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi called the attack devastating and said persons of interest were being questioned. That's a picture of the vehicle right there, and you see the markers and stuff. So like I was saying, they do have one person in custody that they're questioning. A person of interest was taken into custody, but the suspected shooter remains at large. Police said there were many surveillance cameras in the area where the shooting took place. Detectives are looking through footage to see if they can get video of the shooter who remains on the run. So I don't know if that person that's in custody was the second individual that approached the car, because like I said, 2 people approached the car and one of them pulled a gun immediately and started firing at the officer was in the driver's seat, and the other individual that was shot, even though he remains in critical condition, I believe he underwent surgery, after the incident. is going to be okay, according to the person who was speaking at this press conference, who's the police deputy superintendent, Anthony Riccio. And he was sitting directly, the other individual that was shot and not killed was sitting directly behind the police officer who was, in fact, in the driver's side. So, you know, there's a picture of the vehicle right there as they investigate, and you can see it from a distance at another angle. Just a sec.
Police say they do not yet know of a motive.
At this point,
PM last night was sitting in his car after leaving a club around 10 o'clock.
Right
PM last night was sitting.
So I don't know what's around there, but that's the vehicle right there. I'm sure there's surveillance footage of the shooting. There's got to be, and or at least of people running away, running by these buildings and so forth. So. John P. Rivera, he was killed, 23 years old, 2 years on the force. And he had, like I think I said earlier in the report, that he had filled out paperwork for a murder investigation earlier in the evening during his shift, which he had gotten off at around 9 or 10 o'clock. And that is the story there, man. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I will see you in the next video. Later, man.